I have to admit, when I first saw the topic for today's deep dive, janitorial services, I almost just scrolled right past it.
I don't blame you.
My brain just went, okay, mops, buckets, squeegees, got it. It felt like a chore just thinking about it.
Right.
But then I started reading through this stack of articles and insights from John Constantine at What a Maid LLC, and I hit this phrase that just completely stopped me.
What was it?
He doesn't call it cleaning. He calls it asset protection. And suddenly the whole thing just flipped for me.
It's a huge paradigm shift, isn't it? We're so conditioned to see cleaning as this mundane, low-skill thing. You do it to keep the chaos at bay.
Mhm.
But if you actually look at the data we have here, especially focusing on the environment in Phoenix, Arizona, that whole view is like, well, it's dangerous.
Dangerous how?
Constantine argues that professional sanitation is, it's actually a complex survival strategy. It involves chemistry, microbiology, psychology.
And some pretty serious financial strategy, from what I read. That's the hook that got me. We are not talking about tidying up. We're talking about a multi-layered defense system. And our mission today is really to take you, the listener, from thinking of cleaning as a grudge spend
Oh, yeah, that bill you hate paying.
to seeing it as a critical investment in, like, mental health and physical safety. I was genuinely shocked by how much hard science is hiding in a janitorial closet.
It's so much more complex than the average person thinks. There is a reason this industry is moving away from the word janitor and more towards environmental control.
Right.
One of the most striking points for me in the source material was about the smell of clean.
Okay, I read that and immediately felt so guilty.
Bah.
Because I love that smell. You walk into a room, it smells like artificial lemons or pine, and my brain just signals, this is safe. But the sources are saying that's a red flag.
It's often a mask. That heavy lemon-fresh scent is frequently covering up a failure to actually sanitize. It's an olfactory distraction.
To distract.
Yeah. The sources argue we're leaving the era of the good enough, clean, a quick vacuum, a trash swap, and you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Real cleanliness shouldn't be subjective. It shouldn't rely on a perfume. It needs to be a measurable clinical fact.
This connects directly to the psychological part that I really wanted to unpack. The sources bring up the broken window theory, which is usually something you hear about in, like, urban crime statistics.
Yeah.
But applying it to an office or a school, that's fascinating.
It's a direct translation of the theory. In a city, one broken window that goes unflared signals that nobody cares and that invites more vandalism.
So in a workplace, a stained carpet or a layer of dust on a monitor?
Does the exact same thing. It's a silent signal of neglect.
So if I walk into my office and I see a coffee stain that's been there since last month, my brain subconsciously registers, details don't matter here.
And that psychological impact is measurable. Productivity drops. Carelessness creeps into the actual work. If the environment feels neglected, the employee starts to treat their own output with neglect.
But the flip side is the powerful part.
The inverse, yeah.
Okay.
A pristine workspace where the air is crisp, not heavy with chemicals, and surfaces are actually restored. It fosters a culture of excellence. It tells the team, we operate at a high level here.
That's the invisible clean idea they talk about.
Exactly.
It's not just what you see, it's about total environmental control.
I was interested in the distinction they made between materials. Like, you can't just throw bleach on everything.
Oh, absolutely not.
Knowing the difference between porous stone and sealed laminate is apparently the difference between cleaning a floor and ruining it.
That's the chemistry part of it. If you use a high alkaline cleaner on, say, a natural stone floor, you might get the dirt off, but you're also dissolving the seal. You're opening up the pores of the stone.
So you're degrading the asset you're trying to protect.
You are literally degrading it. A professional has to understand pH balance just as much as they understand elbow grease. Okay, let's ratchet up the stakes a bit. We've talked about offices, but the section on schools was honestly a little terrifying. I have kids, and after reading about the hot zones, I don't think I can look at a classroom the same way again.
Schools are arguably the hardest environment to manage. You have high density, high touch frequency, and a population that isn't exactly known for its hygiene.
Right.
The sources point out that a standard janitorial sweep wiping desks, mopping the floor, is completely insufficient against things like the flu, RSV, or norovirus.
The list of hot zones really got me. I mean, we all know doorknobs are gross, but the pencil sharpener, That one surprised me.
Think about the mechanics of it. Every single kid touches it. They grind graphite and wood dust into it. It mixes with the oils from their hands. It is a high transmission point that almost never gets properly cleaned.
This is just a pencil sharpener.
Right. And shared keyboards, locker handles. It's endless.
The articles mention a specific technology to combat this because obviously a janitor can't sit there wiping every single pencil sharpener with a rag. They talked about electrostatic spraying.
It's really cool tech.
I've seen the term, but I didn't really get how it worked until I read this.
Okay, so think of it like magnets. A standard spray bottle just pushes liquid out and gravity pulls it down. So if you spray a desk leg, the front gets wet and the back stays dry. But with electrostatic spraying, the machine gives the disinfectant particles a positive electrical charge.
And the ground, or the object you're spraying, has a negative or neutral charge.
Exactly. So the laws of physics take over. The droplet isn't just falling, it is physically seeking out the surface. It will literally wrap around the curve of a locker handle or a desk leg to get to the backside.
No way.
It creates a 360-degree perimeter of safety that a human with a rag just cannot replicate.
That is wild. It's like the disinfectant is hunting the surface.
It maximizes coverage, and it minimizes human error. In a school, that coverage is the difference between an outbreak and a safe semester.
Okay, so if schools are about attendance, the next environment is life and death. The medical office.
Yeah, the margin for error there is basically zero. The biggest threat is cross-contamination. You're dealing with blood-borne pathogens, infectious bacteria.
So the sources detail this color-coded microfiber system.
Which is non-negotiable.
It seems so simple, but I never thought about it. So you have a specific color cloth that is only for the restroom. Red for high risk, maybe?
Usually red for restrooms, yes. And blue for general areas, yellow for infectious zones, whatever the system is. You have to physically guarantee that a cloth used to wipe a toilet handle never, ever touches a tray table in an exam room.
If a cleaning crew uses the same rag for both, they aren't cleaning. They're actively spreading disease.
Actively.
There was another layer to this that I hadn't considered at all. IP pay. I always think IP pay as digital privacy, locking file cabinets.
Right.
But the cleaning crew is part of the privacy chain.
Think about the access they have. They are in the office after hours, usually alone. If a doctor leaves a patient file on a desk or a chart is left on a monitor, the cleaning staff is now in possession of that data.
Oh, wow.
A professional service understands the legal implications. They know they cannot move that paper, read that chart, or disturb that desk. It's not just about dusting, it's about federal compliance.
That is a huge liability. The sources also mention the air quality. The gray film. That sounds like a horror movie title.
It's the stuff nightmares are made of for allergy sufferers.
Yeah.
If you look at an air vent and see a gray, fuzzy film on the slats, that's not just dust. That is a colony of dust mites, dead skin cells, and mold spores.
That's being recirculated into the air you're breathing.
Every single time the AC kicks on. In a medical office where patients might be immunocompromised, that gray film is a direct health threat.
So I've got the psychology, the tech, the legal stuff, but I want to get into the nitty-gritty of the how, the actual science of cleaning. I read about dwell time, and I realize I have been cleaning my kitchen wrong my entire life.
You and about 90% of the population.
I'm a spray and pray guy. I spray the counter, I wipe it immediately, and I feel good about myself. But the sources say I'm basically accomplishing nothing.
You're giving the bacteria a nice little bath, essentially.
I'm great.
Look, here's the biology. A disinfectant is a chemical weapon against a pathogen. But for it to work, it has to penetrate the cell wall of the virus or bacteria, and that takes time.
It's not instant.
Almost never. If you look at the back of a Clorox bottle or any professional grade cleaner, it will list a dwell time, usually anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes.
And the surface has to stay wet for that long?
It has to remain visibly wet for that entire duration for the chemical reaction to occur. If you spray and wipe instantly, you've removed the dirt, but you haven't killed the bud.
So patience is actually a cleaning tool. That's a hard sell, but it makes total sense. And speaking of tools, the butter knife analogy in the text, it cracked me up.
It's a great image, right? You wouldn't want a surgeon operating on you with a butter knife. So why would you want a commercial cleaning crew showing up with the same vacuum you bought at a discount store?
We're talking about HEPA filters.
HEPA is critical. A standard vacuum is really just a dust redistributor. It sucks up the visible dirt, but the motor blows the microscopic particles, the allergens, right back out the exhaust into the air.
So it's not really cleaning.
A HEPA filter traps particles down to zero point 0.3 microns. It actually cleans the air while it cleans the floor.
And for hard floors, the shifts from mops to auto scrubbers. It seems like the mop is dying a slow death.
A mop has its place, but for large areas, an auto scrubber is superior because it uses fresh water continuously. A mop bucket, by definition, gets dirtier with every single dip.
So by the end, you're just spreading gray water around.
You're just painting with dirt. An auto scrubber extracts the dirty water and lays down fresh solution. It's sanitation versus spreading.
And doing all this with green, clean chemicals, which the sources emphasize. We've moved past the scorch-the-earth chemicals that burn your eyes.
Yes, EPA-approved solutions are the standard now. The goal is to be tough on viruses but benign to humans. You don't want to trade a viral load for a toxic chemical residue.
Okay, I want to pivot now to a specific geographic challenge that the articles focus on heavily. Phoenix, Arizona.
A perfect case study.
It seems like the environment there is actively trying to destroy the inside of the building. They talk about the winter trap.
Right. In most of the world, winter means you seal the house up. In Phoenix, it's the exact opposite.
October to April is paradise there. The AC finally goes off, everyone throws the windows open.
And that's the trap. By opening the building up, you are inviting in what the sources call biology and geology.
Biology and geology. That sounds ominous.
It is. You're letting in the aftermath of the summer haboobs, those giant dust storms. The air is full of fungal spores, pollen, and silt.
So they say it's a tactical error to wait for spring cleaning.
A massive one. If you wait until March, you've spent 5 months turning your home or office into a dust collector.
And we are not talking about fluffy gray dust bunnies here. The sources keep using the word silt.
That's a key distinction. Desert dust is silica-based. It's jagged. It's abrasive. It's basically microscopic sandpaper.
Which explains the nightmare of post-construction cleaning in that region. I read that section, and it sounds like this dust defies gravity. It gets inside light fixtures, inside closed cabinets.
It behaves like a gas. It expands to fill the space. And because it's abrasive silt, if you just take a normal rag and start wiping, you are scratching the finish on your appliances, your floors, your windows.
You're sanding your own house.
Exactly. It requires a specific protocol to lift the dust off before you wipe.
There's another kind of physics they touched on that applies to every kitchen, not just in Arizona. The physics of grease.
They describe it as a microscopic city. Right?
Yeah, a city of grease, bacteria, and carbonized food.
It's not just a layer of oil. It becomes a polymer. When you cook, heat vaporizes the grease. It settles on the cabinets. Then dust settles on that. Then you cook again, and the heat bakes it all together.
It creates a chemical bond.
It does. And your wet sponge isn't going to cut it. You need a degreasing agent that chemically breaks that molecular bond. It's respiration work, not wiping.
Okay, let's get down to the money. We promise this is an economic strategy. The sources argue cleaning is asset protection. Let's prove that math.
Let's look at flooring. It's usually the second most expensive asset in a building. Think about a 5,000 square foot office. Replacing the carpet in a space that size is easily a $30,000 capital expenditure.
That's a massive hit to the budget.
Huge. Now, remember that abrasive desert silt we talked about? If you're only doing a light vacuuming, that silt sinks to the bottom of the carpet fibers.
And every time someone walks on it.
That silt acts like a tiny knife cutting the carpet fibers at the base. That's why carpets look worn out in high-traffic areas. They're being cut from the inside out.
So deep cleaning isn't just for looks. It's removing the knives.
Precisely. If you extract that silt regularly, you can extend the life of that carpet from 5 years to 10 years. You've just deferred a $30,000 expense for half a decade. That cleaning contract pays for itself 5 times over.
And for renters listening, the security deposit battle is real. The sources say landlords are looking for specific gotchas.
Especially in the desert, broom clean is a myth. Landlords know to check the tops of ceiling fans, the intake vents, the tops of blinds. That silt kicks on.
If you move out and leave that, you're handing them an excuse to deduct hundreds for a deep clean.
So hiring a pro for a move-out clean is basically an insurance policy to get your money back. It's pure ROI.
And then there's the business productivity. I love the math on this because we count the cost of the cleaning crew, but we don't count the cost of the dirty office.
The cost of absenteeism. The sources break it down. If a poor cleaning protocol leads to high viral transmission, say you have a staff of 50, if each person takes just 2 extra sick days a year because they caught something at the office,
that is 100 days of lost productivity.
vanished. That's a third of a year of work, just gone. A clean office breaks the chain of transmission. It keeps bodies in seats. It's directly tied to the P&L statement.
So if we accept that we need this high level of service, the question is, who do you hire? The sources make a really strong case for local services over national franchises.
This comes down to the accountability loop. They describe a revolving door of staff at the big national chains. They often act as a middleman, outsourcing the work to the lowest bidder.
So when you call the big brand name, the person showing up might just be a subcontractor of a subcontractor.
Often, yes. And
Hmm.
if there's a problem, you're calling a 1-800 number in a different time zone. You're just a ticket number.
Whereas with a local service like the team at What A Made that provided these insights, the owner is likely in your zip code.
Their reputation is on the line every single night. In a local market, word travels fast. The accountability is personal. You call them, and they fix it because they want to keep your business.
So looking ahead, where is this industry going? Is the janitor's closet getting a digital upgrade?
It's already happening. We are moving toward data-driven cleaning.
Data-driven cleaning, what does that look like?
That's about efficiency and proof. You can use sensors to track foot traffic in restrooms. So instead of a schedule that says clean every hour, the system says 100 people have used this restroom, clean it now.
So you aren't wasting time cleaning an unused room and you're not ignoring a busy one.
Exactly. And then there's the validation tech, like ATP testing.
I was reading about that. It blew my mind. It's basically what health inspectors use, right?
Yeah.
You swab a desk that looks clean.
And pop it in a reader, and it tells you if it's actually a Petri dish. It measures adenosine triphosphate, the energy signatures of organic matter. It gives you a number.
So you can't hide. A surface is either sanitary or it isn't.
It removes opinion from the equation.
Which brings us full circle. It's making clean a fact, not a feeling.
It's raising the standard from it smells okay to it is scientifically safe.
We've covered a massive amount of ground here. From the psychology of the broken window to the terrors of the pencil sharpener.
All the way through the physics of desert dust and the chemistry of grease, right to the economics of asset protection.
So if we have to distill this down, so everyone listening, the person looking at their office or home right now, what is the one big takeaway?
For me, it's that cleaning is an investment, not a cost. It's a strategic function. It's about control. You are controlling your environment rather than letting it control you.
I love that. And I want to leave everyone with this final thought from the sources that really stuck with me. The concept of the invisible force.
Yes, the paradox of the industry. Ideally, you should never see the cleaning happen. You shouldn't have to think about how the office got clean.
You should just arrive at a space that feels ready for work. If you notice the cleaning, if you smell the heavy fake lemon, or see the cart blocking the hall, or spot the dust on the vent, something has already gone wrong.
The best cleaning service is the one you don't even notice because the environment just works. It's seamless.
So as you go about your day today, take a closer look at your baseboards. Check that air vent for the gray film. You might see a whole new world of science and strategy hiding in plain sight.
And seriously, wipe down your pencil sharpener.
Use a disinfectant wipe, let it dwell for 10 minutes, then wipe it down. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll catch you on the next Deep Dives.